Hello, everybody. We are here today with Cheryl and Tonsik from Bear's Smokehouse, and Cheryl is going to talk to us today about Linked for Life. If you haven't heard about Linked for Life yet, this is a program and a campaign that Cheryl has started. I'm going to let her go into the details. Linked for Life is something that came from experiences that we've all had, unfortunately, in the restaurant industry, where we have a sort of a disproportionate occurrence of things like mental health, addiction, suicide. And so, Cheryl, I'm going to let you go into kind of how you started Linked for Life and your personal experiences. And then you've got some really cool things coming up, not just a really cool event, but also, you know, being available for people who just want to feel connected and may have, you know, need somebody to reach out to. So Cheryl, take it away.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Yvette, for having me this morning to share about this, because it is really important and vital issue that we're facing, and especially with COVID. I think that anyone that was experiencing struggles with mental health and or substance abuse or thoughts of suicide, it's even more prevalent. And we you know, it's one of those things that when there's an issue, I like to tackle it head on, and it's definitely something that needs to be done. So, you know, last year I personally had a difficult year, and many of my staff, that I saw how much the need was within the Restaurant Association in particular. So we teamed up with the Jordan Porco Foundation, which is based out of Hartford. They were founded and focus their time and attention on college-age students with mental health awareness and suicide prevention. But as they know, and we all know, there are no boundaries to mental health. It affects everybody. So they have been expanding the reach of their programs. And so we partnered with them at Bear's Smokehouse, did a fundraiser. And unfortunately, during the time that we were planning that, we lost a former manager of ours, Sean Brennan, in July last year to suicide. He was working at the time for the Hartford Restaurant Group with Phil. And so it became even more personal for us. And the community support that we saw was tremendous. And it really proved the point that people want to talk about it, but there is a massive stigma around mental health. So we were planning a big event this coming year. COVID obviously got in the way a little bit of having a large gathering of people. But Linked for Life came when we started talking again, like, this is something that we need to be addressing. This is not something that we should stop talking about because of COVID. And Linked for Life is really a concept of movement. It is, the mission behind it is to break the stigma of mental health and to show that when you connect with others, you're stronger. So we've come up with a visual representation of that. So we have little blue carabiners. I don't think I have one with me right now. But I have 20,000 of them though. And on October 10th, there we go, there it is. We have decided that we would like to break the Guinness World Record for linking together 11,000 of these carabiners. And we're gonna do that this coming Saturday, October 10th, at the Yard Goats Stadium, Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford. We have teams coming together that have been collecting donations for $3 to earn themselves a carabiner to bring and put on a larger chain to break this world record on World Mental Health Day is actually October 10th. So that's why we picked October 10th. And so we picked 11,000 because 1,100 college-age students die by suicide annually. And so we're putting together 110 chains of 100. That'll eventually make 11,000. So we really have, you know, this is a one-day event. These carabiners are something that we would love, and we're going to be working towards that. People all over the nation are carrying these on their keychain, on their backpacks, as a real visual representation of their commitment to their own mental health and to being support to others that are in need, so that people understand that they're never alone, that it's okay to reach out for help, and that when you do connect with others, you're stronger. So the Linked for Life, we are having this event on Saturday. but this is just what I say is a kickoff to a much larger movement. And, you know, will continue so folks can get involved by going to our website, which you have pulled up here. If you donate online, we'll send you your carabiner. Right now through October 10th, you can find them at the Bears locations, and Hartford Restaurant Group here in Connecticut is also selling them in their, or taking donations for them in their locations.
Cheryl, I'm going to switch over to the Facebook page as well. Can you
Yeah.
tell us, that website, let me just go back a second,
Yep.
linkedforlife.org. So there's information about what you're doing,
Yes.
resources, all of that. The event for October 10th, I think that's great that you'll be breaking
Yeah.
the record and, you know, again, getting a little bit more visibility on this very
Yeah.
important issue. But you also have been sharing some phenomenal videos. I've been following on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm just in my Facebook right now. So you've got great videos. So everybody, you know, follow Linked for Life on Facebook and also find on Instagram. But you've got different groups that have been sharing, and whether in restaurants, or I know you had some of the Yukon cheer team, I think, was involved. But you've been sharing great videos. Tell us a little bit about that, about
Yeah. So we want, when we got together in April or May, I guess it was, our staff and the Jordan Porco Foundation, and said, what can we do? We took into consideration the limitations of COVID, but also how to make this accessible and people to be able to participate. Because yes, we are taking donations to help pay for, you know, these, you know, people to help form the chain and the carabiners, but this is really about normalizing mental health conversations and bringing it, you know, up in conversation so that people, we're breaking the stigma. By talking about it, we're breaking the stigma. So we created a pledge that we asked people to take. So that's what's up on the screen right now, which basically says like, hey, I'm willing to speak up about this. I'm willing to listen to you. I've needed support before. I understand that you need support. And that when we link together, we're stronger. So we asked groups, anybody can do it. So it's a way that anybody can participate and pledge their commitment to mental health. So we had people doing it in different languages. We had different groups, as you pointed out, the Yukon cheer team. This is my very best friend, Gabby, down in Deerfield Beach, Florida. She took the pledge for us, and she did it in her native German language. And really as a demonstration, again, that this knows no boundaries. It's a world, you know, it affects people of all cultures, backgrounds, age groups, you know, interests. So that was kind of the point behind the pledge.
How do people take the video and share it with through your social media?
Yeah, if they actually take the pledge, they can email it to us, or you know, send it to us via by sending it through the messaging, and we'll put the Linked for Life, like that on it for them, the logo, and put the little music. We'll fix it up for them, but they don't have to. They can take the pledge. We've had people take the pledge and they just they just tag us in it and we'll share it. So on Instagram, the handle is @linked.4.life. So this is our Bears Windsor team taking the pledge. It's really been tremendous. And I think, you know, the way people have gotten on board with it. So we have folks in the restaurant industry, we have college age students, we have people from the fitness, we've got Body Rock I was telling you about in Smash Avenue, and Cycle Bar Canton. This gentleman here, and that you just saw, he submitted his today. I don't know how to exactly how to pronounce his name. I feel awful about that, but he's just somebody that is connected to Jordan Porco and cares passionately about it. He makes documentaries. And so we've got actors and we've got people in the film industry. We've got the Ironworkers Union, which I think is the coolest thing.
Tell us about, because I know you had told me that once you've broken the record.
This is so exciting. So I have a friend, Alyssa, who owns a studio in Hartford. And she was born and raised in Hartford. And I called her up and I said, Alyssa, I have 11,000 carabiners that we need to do something with after this event. Could you help me make a public art installation with them? So she was like, yeah, absolutely. And she had a connection to the local ironworkers union in Hartford and contacted them. So their apprentices, they got all of the rebar that they fabricated this out of. That's her there. And the apprentices volunteered their time and their services, and they've created a big structure, this structure that spells out the word hope. You can kind of see it. And that's going to be wrapped with the carabiners after the event. We're looking for a home for it currently. We're talking to looking at different parks within the Hartford area. But this will be permanently installed after the event, once we get those carabiners. We have to link them together first, and then we have to disassemble them, and we'll be putting it here. So we actually have 4 artists, muralists, that'll be live painting on October 10th on the field itself. And they're making 5x5 murals about really whatever in their mind represents hope and represents a message of hope. And these will be installed as well throughout the Hartford area. And we are looking for to continue that by bringing hope to other communities across the nation, actually, but here in Connecticut. So that's another way that people can get involved. If they wanted to sponsor having a Linked for Life muralist come and put something on the side of their building at the restaurant, for instance, that would be a great way to
This
get
is
involved.
really incredible. I swear you're the hardest working woman. I mean, and what you're doing is really amazing. And unfortunately, it's something that we, you know, it's especially going through COVID times. It's become even more needed.
It is. And I'm a real firm believer that people, I tell my staff this all the time, people want to belong. People, we function best when we're connected with others. And when you do connect, sometimes that's the thing that you don't want to do, especially when you're feeling at your lowest. The thing that we all want to do is to isolate ourselves. And it's really hard to get through your head once you do, especially when you're in that moment, like, hey, the healthiest thing that I can do for myself right now is to connect with somebody and connect with others. And you find purpose in that. And I think that's what we're all really seeking, is finding purpose and connection. And so I really also believe that once we can connect with others and we can get people to care about their mental health and the mental health of others and having compassion for one another, that's when we can tackle a lot of the other larger issues that are out there to tackle, like the environment. But it really starts at feeling good about ourselves and others.
Yeah, Cheryl, you're absolutely right. And you have told me before that you envisioned, you know, going all across Connecticut and across nationally with this, and
Yes.
seeing people having their Link for Life carabiners on their backpacks and their jackets and all,
Yeah.
as a reminder, you know, to have this awareness, to shine light, to break the stigma, but
Yeah.
also to know that we're connected.
We're
And I really
connected.
appreciate the work you put in, and I'm so excited to see how this is going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Tell us how we can reach you. I know we already shared the website. Go on Facebook and Instagram, but how can somebody reach out to you if they have questions or want to get
Yeah. Well, the first thing that I wanted to let you know is, yes, there are resources on our website, so that if you have somebody, whether it's yourself or somebody that you're working with that maybe needs some help, please go. There's different hotlines that you can call. I know I've used them with my staff. And they are extremely helpful. They're a little scary at first to think about using and intimidating, but it's really a great resource. But if somebody wants to get involved with Linked for Life, because I do, and there's not enough time to describe all the things that in my head I want to take and do with this, with my staff and with people like partners like the Connecticut Restaurant Association. I know that we'll continue to work together to bring more resources and trainings to the restaurant industry in particular. But you can, if you go to the Linked for Life website and you email me, info@linkedforlife.org, those come directly to me. And it would be best to use that email.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for being here being with us today, and for sharing more.
No, thank you.
And we look forward to October 10th and
Yeah.
breaking the world record. And,
breaking a world record.
and then again, seeing everything that Linked for Life as it grows here in Connecticut and nationally, and in all the lives that you'll make an impact on. We appreciate everything that you're doing, Cheryl.
Thank you. Thank you, Yvette.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.